Everyone, this is John, and today we're starting a new topic on IELTS speaking exam preparation, and this topic is about vocabulary. In your test, vocabulary will be worth 25% of your total mark. Your marks will be based on your use of vocabulary, how appropriate it is, and how you use it to get around problems. But in general, good vocabulary can make your speech sound more fluent and natural, so it's very important, not just for your exams. So how do we get a higher mark in the IELTS speaking? For vocabulary, you should avoid repeating the same words and phrases a lot. So you don't want to say, I think that, I think that, I think that. So it's okay to say it more than once, but just try to vary it as much as you can. And I'll give you different examples of how to do this later on. And instead of saying the word very a lot, you can use different synonyms. So a synonym is just a word, a different word that means basically the same thing. For example, you don't want to say very tasty, you could say delicious. Very hard, challenging, or very interesting is fascinating. Again, it's perfectly fine to say very multiple times, but you don't want to keep saying it in a row. And you can also say very delicious, very challenging as well. Lastly, but not least, you want to make sure that the new words you're using are correct. So always be careful when using new vocabulary, as sometimes it might require a slightly different sentence structure, or there might be some different grammar rules around it. So if you do need help with this sort of thing when you're preparing for your IELTS exam, you can email me or message me on social media, and I can try and meet up with you and give you some help. So let's get started on some new vocabulary. When you are giving your opinion, you could say, I think that there are too many people in Hong Kong. So this is just an example. I think that is a very simple way of doing it. So I'm going to give you lots of new words. You don't need to learn all of them. You can just pick out a few that you think you can remember and practice them and make sure you can say them right. I think if you try to learn all of them, you'll probably just forget how to use them all. So just pick a few words you don't know. You could also say, in my opinion, there are too many people in Hong Kong. Honestly, for me, or finally, I believe there are too many people in Hong Kong. So even more ways of giving your opinion. You can use all the phrases in the last slide as well. These are just some more. I am sure it is important to do regular exercise. I am certain. I guess that. I suppose that. And finally, personally, I think, or personally, I believe it is important to do regular exercise. So if you want to do the opposite of something, I didn't know how to phrase this quite right, so I'll just give you different examples. You could say, eating healthy is important, but I eat McDonald's every day. Or you could say, for example, studying is important, but I'm lazy and don't do it enough. Spending time with my family is important, but I normally play video games instead. So but is very basic. You can use it, but also you can use these other phrases. However, also quite simple. Despite this, yet, nonetheless. So eating healthy is important. Nonetheless, I eat McDonald's every day. And even more examples. Studying is important. Even so, or you could say but again. Sometimes I am lazy and I play video games instead. Still, although, or though. So these two words are basically the same. And then finally, regardless. So studying is important, regardless. Sometimes I am lazy and play video games instead. A general point to say though is you don't want to say but and although or but and though in the same sentence. So that's just something to remember. And finally, when talking about hobbies, you can say I like, I enjoy, or I love playing the guitar. So those are all quite simple. If you want to make it sound fancier and better, you can add in these two words here, personally and I suppose. So you could say, personally, I enjoy playing the guitar, or I suppose I enjoy playing. You could even say, if I have time, I enjoy playing the guitar, things like that. And finally, we have some more synonyms. And the first one is, I like sports. So for like, you could say love, adore, or enjoy. Studying is hard. So instead of hard, you could say studying is difficult, challenging, demanding, or tough. That food is tasty. It is delicious, appetizing, or even scrumptious. It's a bit of a funny word. Next one, the test is easy. The test is a piece of cake. It's simple, it's straightforward. I don't like it. You can say I dislike it, I don't enjoy. And finally, these last three ones are very strong words. So only if you really, really don't like something, you can say you hate it, you loathe it, or you despise it. And the last example we have here is a lot of dogs. So you could say there are loads of dogs, a whole load of dogs, tons, heaps, or a bunch of dogs. And finally, if you do want to look up more synonyms, you can just Google thesaurus and you'll get this website and it will give you examples on how to use them. Again, just be very careful and double check that they fit into the sentence structure okay. And that's the video for today. I hope you found it useful and you can let me know if there's any future video topics you'd like me to discuss. And as always, thank you for watching.